Good morning. Hello, hello, and welcome to Tea Time. It is Saturday, and therefore it is time for tea. I am just getting all my various channels set up. I'm still getting used to this YouTube live story, but I am excited to be here for another Saturday and to give a quick check in with all of you guys. How are you doing? It's the end of another week, but also it is the end of the 11th month in the year, which means that we are even closer to the end of the actual year itself. 2024 is almost done. Can you believe it? 2024 is almost done. And so we're approaching that time where we want to talk about our milestones and talk about all the different things that are going on in our lives. But today, guess what? Today, before we get into all of the merriment and the excitement of the holidays, although for those of us that are, or those of you that are in the US, you're already kind of feeling it, right? Because it's Thanksgiving weekend and you'd have been getting into that holiday spirit early, right? But what also happens a lot at the holidays is you start to realize where you are versus where everybody else is and what everybody else has that you don't have. So I thought this was a really great time to have this conversation. And then another thing that happens at the holidays is family. There's just a lot of family gatherings, you know. You have a lot of people that you may not have seen for a while, which is sometimes nice and sometimes not so nice, right? So you have family that you're seeing, you may have friends that you haven't seen in a long time, and just a lot of that kind of noise. And just, it can be either good energy or not so good energy because sometimes it brings up a lot of feelings and emotions from the past. Okay. And so I thought, well, what ends up happening a lot of times during the holidays is we get stuck in the mirror of life. We get stuck with the reflections from the past that we are still experiencing in our today. And, it creates a lot of discomfort, and sometimes it can rob you of your holiday experience, especially when it comes to the family side of things and you encounter people and these persons aren't necessarily persons that have left you with a past memory that's really great. And so you get those feelings come up again, and then you get stuck. You miss out on the holidays, you get vexed, and the whole holiday, it just can't return. You can't get that joyful feeling and have the excitement and the jubilation that everybody else has. And then, of course, if it's not the family and friends, it's what I mentioned before, where you're just seeing all this, what seems like abundance in material things, and everybody else looking fabulous. And it feels like, well, my gosh, they clearly have a whole lot of everything going on. And a whole lot of everything going on. And, I don't have anything going on. So it's a really great time for us to be mindful, to be aware, to be present, to be in a space of intentional joy, right? And I last night, of course, I always have a little tea to give you. I last night went and saw the Gladiator movie. I went and saw the Gladiator movie last night, and it's the new one, Gladiator 2, with Denzel Washington and a whole bunch of new people that I don't know. But anyway, this is honey, guys. I'm pouring into my tea. Yes. So make sure you have your tea, people. That's the whole point of this thing being so early on a Saturday. It's tea time. Anywho, so I went and watched Gladiator last night, Gladiator 2. And first of all, Denzel was fabulous. Denzel was a genius. I'm not going to try not to give away too much. Okay. But I really liked his role in the movie. But the premise of the show, which is why I'm bringing it up, aside from the fact that a whole heap of people, get chopped up and stab up and all things, aside from that, it was just a really, really great reminder. It was a really great reminder that when the life around you is showing you a particular picture, right? When the mirror of your current experience is showing a particular picture, it is up to you to remember who you truly are. And it is up to you to actually dream of a life that looks different. Did you catch that? When the mirror of life is showing you what's going on right now, right? Showing you what's going on right now. It is up to you to change the reflection of life if what you are seeing around you does not equal what you actually want your life to be like. And I will say that for several parts in the movie, I was like this, and I'm one of those girls, yes. I'm can't manage, and I'm leaning into Honey Boo and just trying to hide my face. And at the same time, when them finish that killing, when them done that stab up or whatever, them doing the blow up or chop off the head, I'm like, okay, now I can watch again. So I was doing that all through the movie, but I didn't miss the point of the show. All right. So the point of the show really was that you can't stay focused on the mirror of life and allow your senses to drive your thoughts when your life is not in a place where you want it to be. Because what's going to end up happening is that you're going to get stuck in that reflection. You're going to get stuck in what you are seeing in front of you versus trusting and believing in the intention that you are setting. Okay. So how do we do that, Stacey? I don't even know where to begin, Well, if you are one of those persons that is currently having an experience that does not, like when you look around you, based on what you can see and what you can hear and what you're maybe even tasting or not tasting, if you're not, maybe your issue is you're really, really broke and you can't have a great meal when you want to eat out and you can't. Whatever your current life reflection is, right? And maybe you're feeling stuck in your current circumstance, or you're feeling the pain of a circumstance that has really made life difficult, or like that's the only word you can use, is you're struggling, your heart is breaking, it's just so hard. And then the holidays just compound that. The holidays just remind you of how far behind you are or how stuck you are, right? If you are one of those persons that is looking around and you want to change your life, maybe you come to tea time, maybe you watch tea time all the time, and you just somehow you're still seeing a reflection that does not equate to what you actually want, right? Then there are a couple of things that you need to get clear on, and then I will tell you how to break free. All right? So you with me? So first, I need you to understand what's going on, and then I'm going to tell you how to break free. Today, I am having mint tea, just straight Twinings peppermint. And that's because I'm being kind to my tummy. I haven't been very kind. I've been eating all kind of things, can I tell you? And so whenever my body is feeling a bit like, oh, I need some attention, help me, I try to soothe it with the nice things like peppermint and all of that. I don't know what you guys are drinking. You can drop it in the comments. Make sure you also share that we're live over here on YouTube. All right. So the first thing that you guys have to do when you are feeling stuck, feeling like, my life does not change, feeling like I hate the holidays because all it does is remind me of how far behind I am in life, then you first of all need to understand the mirror of life. Your current circumstance, your current life circumstances are the result of seeds that you have planted by your past thoughts and beliefs. I'm going to say that again. Your current life circumstances, what you are seeing in front of you now, experiencing now, are the result of seeds that you have planted by your past thoughts and your past beliefs. All right. And essentially, what I mean by that is, let me explain it a little bit more. You are experiencing today what you may have been thinking about yesterday or a week ago or a month ago or 10 years ago. It's literally physics, guys. And I was not a physics person. Like sciences was not, well, I took biology. But this is what happens. Everything in life, that is the mirror, right? So your life is a mirror. So that means that whatever you're putting out has to come back. There is an equal and opposite reaction. So just like you stand in front of the mirror and you look one way when you're standing there, if you decide to smile, then you're going to see a smile in the mirror, right? If you decide to frown, then you're going to see a frown in the mirror. The problem that we run into, right, is that we're missing all of that. We're not recognizing that it starts with us. And it is starting from way back. It's not just starting from you standing there right now looking out at your life. And so what also happens to us, and this is where it gets really juicy, guys, is that when you are in the life transformation zone, which I know that many of you who follow me, that's where you are ready to transform your life, because that's what Stacey talks about, right? When you are ready to transform your life now and you start to take some steps, you start to take some small movements towards it. Maybe you're showing up for tea time. Maybe it is you've gotten one of my journals and you're journaling, right? Maybe it is you have the cards, which I'm going to pull a card in a second. Maybe it is you have the cards and you're doing your intentions, right? And it's taking you, you're going one day at a time, right? And then you're looking now and your life, it just doesn't seem like it's changing. Well, it didn't take you a few practices to create the life that you have now. If you are flat out broke and you don't manage your money well, and or your finances just not adding up because your life is just very expensive, or your health is dwindling, maybe you grew up with the money thing, you grew up believing that money was scarce or in scarcity. It's just this immense struggle to have wealth. It's me that is poor and them that is rich. Your current financial state is going to be reflecting those thoughts that you may have either inherited or otherwise developed on your own. It's going to be reflecting that past stuff today. So if you have now started to shift and you're building up this momentum, your today experience is not necessarily going to be right away different. That's what I'm saying, guys. The mirror that you are seeing now is based on past experiences and expectations. So what you got to do is the work, mindful work, mental work, so that the seeds that you are planting in your thought space are now different from the ones that you had in the past, so that your reflection can begin to change. Okay? So if you are having a health challenge, for instance, a lot of people get into the health space when it comes to the holidays for two reasons. One, you have all of this merriment and food and alcohol and desserts. Oh my gosh, I've been eating Jamaican Christmas cake for like over a week now. Okay. If you have all of this stuff around you, you're thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm so unhealthy, and you start to beat yourself up about not being able to control your urges, etc., because you have all of this stuff around you. You start to play that blame game. So that's one reason why health may be top of mind for you. The second reason health may be top of mind for you is because the new year is approaching, and this is the time when most people set their health goals. Like starting January, even I'm doing it. I'm like real. I cannot wait until January because I'm actively moving towards this health goal. Am I shifting stuff now? Yes, I know I can start now, but I got a Christmas cake. I got it. I'm eating the Christmas cake. It's just happening. But I'm jumping carnival next year, and I know I want that my body to be able to enjoy the experience and not be popped down after, right? So if you have a health thing, a negative health thoughts running through your brain constantly, right? So if you've always thought, I'm not a healthy person, or I don't have the discipline to exercise, that's one of mine. One of my thoughts has always been, oh my gosh, I just don't have the discipline. I just can't do it to exercise. And so I avoid it, as much as possible, right? You may find yourself stuck in a cycle of inconsistent habits or self-sabotage around your health. And so, guys, it doesn't matter what area of your life, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it is your career aspirations, like whatever goal or dream it is that you have, or it's your love life and relationships with people. Your life is a reflection of you. Ultimately, your life is a reflection of you. The other day, I caught myself, literally just 2 days ago, I caught myself thinking about something the way I've always thought about it. And having this experience of, I just don't know why this person treats me like this. Like it's a friendship, right? And I'm just feeling, disappointed or whatever. I was feeling all these negative feelings. Let me not use the word whatever. I was feeling all these negative feelings about this relationship, this friendship. And when I don't know what it was that brought me present to, well, what do you want? What do you actually want? And second of all, what you're experiencing is your creation. So for many people talk about, how this relationship or that relationship doesn't work. And I'm not saying you're the only person creating, but I'm taking my 100% responsibility. Like in my mind, I know I can create something different with this person. I know I can. I have no doubt about it. But my mind just wants to stay stuck in the bad feelings that my current situation with this person has created, has put forward. It just wants to focus on that. It's like the mirror that I am stuck in is about this relationship, and I have to be literally shattering that reflection so that I can get breakthrough with what I actually want. And the way that I started doing that was with my insides. You get me? So to change your life, to change the reflection that you are seeing in front of you, and you guys know this, you must first change the way you think and feel about it. But I know that where we get stuck is in seeing all of the things. So some of you may be right now straddling. You may be straddling that place, right? Where you are believing for the dream. You're straddling. You're believing for the dream. And at the same time, you're looking outside and saying, well, where is it? You're like, where is it? Where is the money in the bank account? Where is the man in the bed beside me? Or where is the woman in the bed beside me? Where is it? Where is the cash? Where is the car that's supposed to be parked outside so I can go about my business and not have to take taxi or bus or train or whatever, right? So you're straddling. You are not sat in a place where you are trusting that because your mind is focused in a particular direction that it's going to show up. So what's happening with you is that you're standing in front of this mirror and you are expecting the reflection to smile at you, and then you smile. Okay, let me say that again. It's like standing in front of a mirror and expecting what you're looking at to smile at you first before you smile. It's simple, guys, but it's not easy. I get it. So you have to ask yourself, are you focusing more on what's missing or on what you want to create? That's the distinction between the straddle. Are you focusing more on what is missing or on what you want to create? And what that question, when you start to have that curiosity, because that's what happened to me. I was just curious, what the hell am I focusing on? I'm focusing on all the things that are not what I want. So what do you want, Stacey? And I have to keep asking myself that. Sometimes that's really just all you can do. You just really have to start there because we are so used to speaking about what is wrong. And I get stuck in it too, guys. That's why I have to keep talking about it. I have to keep reminding you and me that our habit, our natural habit, is to focus on what we're seeing in the mirror versus what we want the future reflection to be. Let me drink some tea. So now I know that you're saying, all right, Stacey, so yeah, you got me. I am that person. I am the person that is stuck in the mirror and not being able to actually shift past it. I am looking in the mirror and expecting to see the mirror smile before I smile, my reflection smile before I smile, right? I'm stuck, whichever one. I hate the holidays because I just keep seeing all this abundance around me and I don't got no abundance. Okay, so let's clear it up right away, right? Let's sort it out. So the first thing that you do is, you have to shift that inner world. And in order to shift your inner world, the first thing that you have to do, as I said, is get clear on what you want. Okay? You really need to get clear on what your experience should be in your life. Write it down in detail. I talk to people about how journaling saved my life. I mean, when I had cancer and was going through a lot of my surgeries and my healing and stuff like that, I would journal probably far more than I journal now. And so much of that time was around just really stepping into or speaking. Even though I was writing about where I was also writing about what I wanted to create. I was writing about, the sad, depressing thoughts I was having. I was writing about those thoughts. I'm not going to say to you that I was, not. When I look back at my past journals, there's so much pain and hurt and shame and just depression in my past journals. But what was clear was that I was really, really reaching. It's like I was in this dungeon reaching out for something else. I don't know that I was 100% clear on what I wanted, but one thing I would always talk about was telling other people how to do it once I figured it out. I literally wrote about that a lot, about helping other people to not go through the level of pain that I had created in my life, the pain of depression and anxiety, where you have to get treatment, the pain of divorce and taking your children through painful heartbreak, the pain of cancer, where your whole body is telling you that, you're not living your life in a way that is going to allow you to even live. Like death is at your doorstep. Yeah. And so I have to do the work of creating clarity on what I want. And one of the ways that I do that is by journaling. Because when you can see what your thoughts are in front of you, not saying speak them out, but when you can see what it is in front of you, you can actively say, no, man, I am shifting these thoughts because this is what I want to experience instead. And don't just say, I want to be successful. What does that mean? Everybody have a different definition of success, just like how everybody have a different definition of joy. Everybody have a different definition of peace of mind. Everybody have a different definition of health and wellness. Everybody has their own definition of wealth. Like what I define as, I think everybody's thinking, well, when you think of these big dreams, you're looking at the car and the house and the this and not everybody's wealth dream is about the things. It means different things for different people. All right. And so getting clear on what you want is probably the most significant. Well, one of the most significant, because the last point is also significant. But I find that we just lack clarity, and we have to keep doing that. We have to keep going back to being clear. It's not I'm clear this minute, but I'm unclear the next minute. Your thoughts are literally a program that's an existing program that's based on a belief system you've had for a long time. And so having a thought today and expecting the mirror of life to show you something different tomorrow is not realistic. And throwing your money at people to make it realistic is also not realistic. You're not going to get a quick fix and it just happen. You have to be mindful about it first, making sure that you're aware, and then you have to take the steps to build momentum for these new thoughts. You have to be so intentional about transforming your mind, so intentional about transforming your life. So get the clarity. Second thing you have to do now, which is where most people get tripped up. This is the part where you get a little trip up, right? The second thing you have to do now is you have to remove the power from the current facts. How do I do that? You have to remove the power from the current facts. And the thing about it is, that's where most people get tripped up. That's where I still get tripped up to some extent, but that's where I spent a lot of time getting tripped up. I spent a lot of time getting tripped up with what it looks like right now. And you can't, I mean, guys, I get it. I get what you're saying to me. When you're right in front of you and you're sat there seeing it and feeling it and the pain of it, it's like to think something else is hard. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. But you have to be bold enough to ignore the external facts to the extent that you're mentally doing that, right? Not like not going to, if you're ill and your body is ill, don't not go to the doctor. I don't mean like that. But deny it in your mind that this has to be your forever state. Be bold enough to ignore external facts that contradict the vision that you have for your life. If your bank account balance or your current state of health or of love is looking at you in a way that's not what you want, then you have to remind yourself that this is temporary and it does not define your future. We have so much evidence of persons who have defied the odds, people who have had terminal cancer diagnoses and them living today, people who have had their marriages completely disbanded and them together today. It's because somebody had the wherewithal to think, no, I know it looks like this, and yet still. Could I have done that in my previous marriage? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. But I was not in the mental strength place to actually have like this insight that I have now about assuming my life a particular way and thinking about my future state and choosing to experience it now and all. I didn't have those tools. I didn't have intention cards. It's when my life popped down, all of these things happened. It's like I had that breakdown of my entire life. All four areas of my life broke down. It's almost like I had to have that entire life break down so that I could rebuild my mind first and then shift my external circumstances. My life meltdown, breakdown, pop down happened in 2010. Now, in 2010 is where everything may have manifested, right? It's when the separation may have manifested between me and my ex. It's when the cancer may have manifested or shown up in my body. It's when my bank accounts may have just gone to crap, when I may have lost my house in Atlanta, when I may have all these different things may have happened in that year. But it didn't just that reflection of life was based on thoughts and experiences and beliefs from way before. So you have to give yourself some grace. Know that your reflection today, that the one that you feel so stuck in, is transient. It is not your future. If you choose to shift your inner self, if you choose to be mindful about the momentum that you're going to create for the life that you want. So you have to remove the power from the current facts. And then you have to live in the now with joy. You have to be intentional about finding the happy in now. Find your feel good right now. Find it. No matter how dire your life is, there is something that can give you a good feeling, something that can make your heart leap for a moment. Sometimes you look for it in the big things. You don't need to look for it in the big things. Yeah? You can look for it in the small indicators that you have as a part of your life as you go through your life. So I'm going to give you those 3 points again. Okay? In order to shift your inner world so that your outer life reflection is different. First thing, know what you want. You got to have that clarity. And you got to keep bringing back that clarity every single time. You don't get clear today, and then next week when him upset you, you're not clear anymore. Or next week when she don't cook the dinner on time, you're not clear anymore on what you want. Right? You can't be clear today, and then when your bank account go into red next week, you forget about what you want. You get what I'm saying here, guys? Keep the clarity. Keep reinforcing that clarity. How do you reinforce the clarity? Every morning you do your morning routine. We're going to be doing a challenge on that in the next month. You do your morning routines to make sure that you remind yourself, get yourself into habits that are going to create a reflection of the life that you actually want, instead of staying stuck in the habits of do nothing and expect different. All right. Feel like I'm preaching. So the first thing is get clear on what you want. The second thing is to remove the power from your current facts. And the way that you remove the power from the current facts is by making sure that you are not leaning into those facts all the time. You're not doing the 5 C's. You're not complaining about the facts. You're not criticizing the facts. You're not catastrophizing the facts. You're not commiserating about the facts with all the people. And you're not creating concern about the facts with yourself and everybody else. So remove the power from the facts, because we give the facts of life power because we spend so much time in gossip and in the downward spiral of the negative thoughts that say your life is what it is and you not get nothing else. You can't get nothing else because it just is what it is. Why you don't just accept it? When you start to do that, that is absolutely 100% when you are giving power to what your life looks like right now, and you will stay stuck in that mirror. Final point, live now with joy. And this is where I'm going to share with you guys the intention card that I pulled today. You guys know that I love to shuffle up my deck and all of that. I actually cheated today and I pulled the card before. It was actually the card that I pulled because I pull intention cards for myself and then I write in my journal. That's why it's so close, right? And this morning I pulled this card. I wasn't sure if it was going to be applicable, but I think it is. So this morning I pulled the card, I am purpose, right? And the affirmation on the card says, I allow all of my energy to be productively and creatively aligned with my best self. And by doing so, I tap into my most powerful state of being. I'm going to read that again. I allow all my energy to be productively and creatively aligned with my best self. And by doing so, I tap into my most powerful state of being. So what this is encouraging you to do is to be on purpose with living a life of intention. That's it. It says, I am purpose. A lot of people always have this whole purpose thing. What is my life's purpose? Am I living on purpose? All the things. All purpose is tapping into yourself, your true self, choosing that person and focusing on that energy today, now, not waiting until you get to the goal of being a more positive thinker. I'm going to set a goal for myself to think, what I'm going to be when I get there. I'm going to set a goal for when I have wealth. I'm going to set a goal for health. No, we're not focused on the goals. You're going to set them, but if you stay focused just on getting to the house, but you feel bad living in the house where you are now. You're not going to get to the new house. Act as if your desired life is already here. Dress up for the job that you want. Celebrate the small wins in your life. Feel the emotions of love and abundance within yourself before you have the perfect lover or the perfect marriage. Think about all the things you're going to do, like wear your carnival costume when you have the healthy body. Think about how that's going to make you feel. So you really want to be in a space where you are dreaming with intention. Daring to dream is about more than wishful thinking. And a lot of times when we set these goals, it's wishful thinking. Like, yeah, man, I want this, this, and this, and this. And we're coming up on goal setting season, guys. And I'm telling you that you don't want to get stuck in that mirror again when you realize that come June 2025, all these goals that you were writing down, you're stuck in the mirror. None of them don't achieve. It is far more than just having the goal there written down. You have to embody and embrace the feeling and live in that now. Align your focus with what you are creating in the future, but align that focus from today. Your energy flows where your attention goes. So if you focus on problems, you're going to create more. If you focus on solutions, then the possibilities are going to mount their heads. Okay? So, guys, to sum up, your current circumstances are not the end. Okay? Your current circumstances are just the harvest of past beliefs. You would not be having your current experience without the past expectations that have created this experience. So to create a new future, your mind, you must shift your inner world. Dare yourself to dream boldly. Get clear on what you want. Detach yourself from the current facts mentally in a way that allows you to actually dream big. Write it down in the morning. Do that first thing when you open your eyes. Just think about the life that you are creating. Before you go to sleep at night, think about and dream for the things that you are desiring. And if you can't bring yourself to dream, then just be with yourself and trust and know that life is always on your side. And start acting like life is on your side. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, here on Saturday Tea Time. That is my time here every Saturday morning at 8:30, unless I tell you that I'm not going to be here. Every Saturday morning, we go live at 8:30. Thank you for joining. And please spread the word. Follow me on my YouTube channel. I'm Stacey Hines on YouTube as well, Stacey TV, where I have lots of other videos about changing your mind so that you can change your life with the power, always the power of intention. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care and have a wonderful day.